Hello, everyone. Have you ever wondered why some people completely transform their lives while others stay stuck in the same place for years? The difference is rarely talent. Most of the time, it's the decisions they make every single day. Today, we're going to explore 5 powerful lessons from Tony Robbins, ideas that have inspired millions of people to take control of their lives, overcome fear, and build a future they once thought was impossible. And who knows, one of these lessons might become the turning point in your own life. Let's begin.
Lesson 1. Your decisions shape your destiny. Before we talk about success, let's talk about something much more important: decisions. Every single day, your life moves in the direction of the decisions you make. Most people believe their future is controlled by luck, by money, by their past, or by the opportunities they never had. But Tony Robbins has spent decades teaching a different idea. He believes that your life changes the moment you decide that it must change. Now, think about it for a second. Have you ever promised yourself, "I'll start next Monday. I'll start next month. I'll do it when I feel ready"? We've all done it. But every time we delay a decision, we also delay the life we want. Let's imagine a simple example. 2 friends graduate from the same college. They have the same age, the same dream, and almost the same opportunities. 5 years later, one of them has built a successful career. The other is still waiting for the perfect moment. What created the difference? Not intelligence, not talent, not even luck. It was a series of small decisions. One decided to learn a new skill instead of watching another hour of videos. One decided to wake up earlier. One decided to keep going after failing. Small decisions, repeated every day. And over time, those small decisions created 2 completely different lives. This is something many people don't realize. Your future isn't built in one dramatic moment. It's built in ordinary moments that most people ignore. The decision to read 10 pages, the decision to exercise today, the decision to make one difficult phone call, the decision to keep your promise to yourself. These moments may seem small, but together, they shape your identity. And once your identity changes, your actions begin to change naturally. So let me ask you something. What is one decision you've been avoiding? Not next year, not next month, today. Because your life doesn't change when you wish for something better. It begins to change when you decide. And sometimes, one decision is all it takes to start a completely different future. But making a decision is only the beginning. The real challenge is taking action before you feel ready.
Lesson 2. Action creates confidence. Have you ever noticed something interesting? Most people are waiting to feel confident before they take action. They think, once I believe in myself, then I'll start. But what if that's backwards? What if confidence isn't something you find? What if it's something you build? Imagine a child learning to ride a bicycle. The first time they sit on the bike, they're terrified. Their hands shake, their balance is terrible. And after a few seconds, they fall. Now, imagine if that child said, "I'll ride the bike after I become confident." It would never happen. Confidence doesn't come first. The first step does. Every expert was once a beginner. Every great speaker once struggled to say a single sentence in front of an audience. Every successful entrepreneur once had an idea that nobody believed in. They didn't start because they were fearless. They started because they refused to let fear make the decision for them. And that's an important difference.
Fear isn't the enemy. Let me say that again. Fear isn't the enemy. Fear is simply a sign that you're stepping into something new. The real enemy is letting fear decide your future. Think about your own life. Maybe there's a business you've always wanted to start, a skill you've wanted to learn, a dream you've kept hidden because you're afraid people might judge you. Now ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen if you try? You might fail. You might make mistakes. You might feel embarrassed for a while. But what happens if you never try? You stay exactly where you are. And for many people, that becomes the biggest regret of all. Here's something powerful to remember. Action creates experience. Experience creates confidence. And confidence creates bigger action. That's how growth works. Not in one giant leap, but in small steps repeated again and again. So today, don't wait until you feel fearless. Don't wait until everything feels perfect. Take one small action. Send the email. Start the workout. Read the first chapter. Record your first video. Because one small action today is worth more than 100 perfect plans that never leave your mind. Now, we've talked about making a decision, and we've talked about taking action. But there's another habit that separates extraordinary people from everyone else. It's the way they respond when life doesn't go according to plan. Lesson 3. Your past does not define your future. There is one sentence that silently destroys more dreams than almost anything else. Maybe I'm just not good enough. Some people believe they're too old. Others believe they're too young. Some think they don't have enough money. Others think they don't have the right education. And slowly, these beliefs become invisible walls. Walls they build around themselves. But here's the truth. Your past may explain where you are today, but it does not decide where you can go tomorrow. Think about a tree growing through a crack in the sidewalk. It wasn't planted in perfect soil. It didn't have the perfect environment. Yet somehow, it kept growing. Not because the conditions were perfect, but because life always looks for a way forward. People are no different. Many of us spend years carrying labels. I'm not smart enough. I'm not confident enough. People like me never succeed. The problem is, the longer you repeat those sentences, the more your mind starts believing them. And when your mind believes them, your actions begin to match them. That's why changing your life often begins with changing the story you tell yourself. Instead of saying, "I've always failed," ask yourself, what can this failure teach me? Instead of saying, "I'm not ready," ask, what's one small step I can take today? Those questions change everything. Because the quality of your life is often shaped by the quality of the questions you ask yourself. Now imagine waking up every morning believing that your best chapter hasn't been written yet. How would you speak? How would you work? How would you treat the opportunities in front of you? Probably very differently. Because hope changes behavior, and behavior changes results. So don't let yesterday become an excuse for tomorrow. You cannot rewrite the beginning of your story, but you can decide how the next chapter will be written. Starting today, starting with one choice, starting with you.
Lesson 4. The strongest people never give up after one failure. Failure has a strange way of making us question ourselves. One mistake, one rejection, one bad decision, and suddenly we begin to wonder if we're simply not meant to succeed. But what if failure isn't the end of the story? What if it's only the beginning? Imagine a blacksmith forging a sword. He places a piece of steel into the fire, again and again and again. Every time the steel leaves the flames, it's struck with a hammer. To someone watching from a distance, it might look like the metal is being destroyed. But the blacksmith knows something different. The fire isn't destroying the steel, it's strengthening it. Life works in much the same way.
The challenges you face today aren't always there to break you. Sometimes they're shaping you into someone stronger than you were yesterday. Think about the last time something didn't go your way. Maybe you applied for a job and never got a reply. Maybe you started a business that didn't work. Maybe you worked hard for something, only to watch someone else get the opportunity. Those moments hurt. There's no point pretending they don't.
But pain and defeat are not the same thing. Pain is something you experience. Defeat is something you accept. And those are two very different choices. The people we admire aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who refuse to let failure have the final word. Every setback teaches something. Sometimes it teaches patience. Sometimes it teaches discipline. Sometimes it reveals a weakness you never noticed before. And sometimes it simply teaches you that you're stronger than you thought. So the next time life knocks you down, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? That single question can change the way you experience every challenge, because every difficult season carries a lesson, and every lesson prepares you for the next level of your life. Remember this: a diamond is created under pressure. A tree grows stronger by surviving storms. And people often discover their greatest strength only after facing their hardest moments. So don't let one bad chapter convince you that your story is over. It isn't. As long as you're willing to stand up one more time, your story is still being written. Now, we've learned how to make powerful decisions. We've learned why action builds confidence. We've learned that the past doesn't define the future. And we've discovered that failure can become our greatest teacher. But there's one final lesson. In many ways, it's the lesson that brings everything together. Lesson 5. The quality of your life depends on the standards you set. Let's end with one of the most powerful ideas. Not about success, not about money, not even about motivation, but about standards. Because at the end of the day, you don't get what you want. You get what you're willing to accept. Think about that for a moment. Two people can have the exact same dream. Both want a healthier body. Both want financial freedom. Both want a happier life. But after a few years, their lives look completely different. Why? Because one person treated those dreams like wishes. The other treated them like standards. A wish says, I hope things get better. A standard says, this is how I choose to live from now on. That's a completely different mindset. Imagine someone who promises to exercise every morning. The first few days feel exciting, but then it starts to rain. They're tired. The alarm rings, and suddenly they have a choice. If exercise is just a goal, they'll probably skip it. But if it's part of who they are, they'll find a way. Because standards are not built on feelings. They're built on commitment. This is true for every area of life. If you expect honesty from yourself, you'll tell the truth even when it's uncomfortable. If you expect discipline from yourself, you'll keep going even when nobody is watching. If you expect excellence from yourself, you'll never be satisfied with doing only the minimum. Little by little, those daily choices become habits. Those habits become your character, and your character shapes your future. So before you ask, how can I change my life? Ask a better question. What standards am I living by every single day? Because the answer to that question may explain almost everything. Your future isn't decided by one lucky break. It's built by the standards you refuse to lower. Now, let's take a moment to remember what we've learned together. First, your decisions shape your destiny. Second, action creates confidence. Third, your past does not define your future. Fourth, failure is not the end. It's preparation for growth. And finally, the quality of your life depends on the standards you choose to live by. None of these lessons will change your life unless you do something with them. Knowledge is valuable, but applied knowledge is powerful. So when this video ends, don't just close YouTube and move on with your day. Choose one lesson, just one, and put it into action before the sun goes down. Because a year from now, you won't remember every sentence from this video, but your life could be completely different because of one decision you made today. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. If this video gave you a new perspective, consider subscribing for more lessons from the world's greatest thinkers and leaders. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep learning, keep growing, and never stop becoming the person you're capable of being. See you in the next video.